Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Last time we finished up Revenge of the Sith free play mode, so it is now time to move on to the big levels. I can say that with certainty because the next three parts are all one single level. It's going to be like back in the Phantom Menace again. And I turned on silhouette mode. So this is what it does. It turns everybody into a silhouette. Eventually I get tired of the silhouette, so I do turn it off before I finish this level. But in this part we're going into Secret Plans as we begin Episode 4, A New Hope's free play mode. So obviously this is where the levels start to get bigger. They introduced a lot more things in LEGO Star Wars 2 compared to the first. So not an awful lot has changed here. Where the prequel levels, they had a few changes. Certain rooms couldn't be accessed in story mode that could be in LEGO Star Wars 1. But this is all relatively the same. There's a few alterations here and there. Certain things require different abilities compared to what they did before. There may be some very slight object placements that have changed. But other than that, it is for the most part the same level. And this is probably the fastest I've ever done this level outside of challenge mode. And let's see, this part is 16 minutes long. So yeah, it's going to be a long time. Anyway, this is the Grievous Bodyguard. We see two of these in Chancellor in Peril, and they're the only two that we actually fight. He's got an electric stick like that of a lightsaber. He can do the lightsaber slam. He can defend him. He can use it for defense. Like he can block attacks with it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can block attacks with it. And it has a super jump, but it only has the single jump. Like it does a single jump, but it still gains the same height as it would with Jar Jar Binks or General Grievous. So it's an unusual one, I will say that, but it's not one I find myself particularly using. And very often you have to deal with the sound of the electricity, and that gets kind of annoying. Alright, double prizes! No, sadly, even though it's in a double score zone, the Minikit still only counts as one. I love the Super Jedi Slam. You can break these things so much faster, because I don't care now about about opening all the doors. I have a bunch of Imperial Guards, because it does tend to give you quite a lot of Imperial characters now, where before we would get quite a few battle droids and clone troopers. Now we're in the original trilogy, we get largely stormtroopers and Imperial officers. And usually a rebel trooper like my partner character currently is. And I hit Disarm Trooper. It's going to take me a while to realise that's what I have on. In fact, I don't even think it's this level where I realise. I think it's the next one. That I have this Disarm Trooper thing. And what that does is it turns out what it does is it turns your clone troopers, or at least your stormtroopers, I assume it's all of them, into carrots. That's now what they're carrying. And you can't do anything with them. It doesn't benefit you in any way because all of the enemy stormtroopers still have blasters. So it doesn't benefit you in any way, it just hinders you. And I think it's just about the only one that does exclusively that. Like we have some that can be a problem, like the super thermal detonators. They can be annoying because of how big the explosion is, but it can still take out the enemies. It can still destroy objects, and this lift isn't here in LEGO Star Wars 2, and it's a pointless little addition that I walk off. And I also have the daisy chain. Just turns your grapple chain into a bunch of daisies, which doesn't do anything other than that. It means that I can say, "Hi, I'm Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy." And this is Greedo, who's the bounty hunter that Han shot first. Again. See, it turns out that even when you go back as far back as the special editions, people argued over pointless things. The difference being is that in that one, it's often because they don't think it works. They think it goes against Han's character. So that one, it makes a bit more sense. It's still a pointless change, and I will agree it's rather horribly edited. And I fail to understand how Greedo can miss from that distance. So, you know, that one still makes some sense. I also say TC-14 doesn't really look any different under the silhouettes. Like she's like very slightly darker. Other than that, she looks exactly the same. If this was Lego Star Wars 2, I could blow both of them up. Is Vader laughing at me? Just when does Vader laugh? I'm pretty sure even in the little Lego short films he doesn't laugh. Okay, so now we've got to hunt down for 3 of those little blocks that have a picture of an alien on it. They're randomly hidden inside certain objects, and that's 1 of 2 times we're going to be doing this in this level. So the first one is there, but the other 2 are located in the rooms to the side. Now there's 2 ways of getting in there. There's the Bounty Hunter panel, and there's the Stormtrooper panel. Both lead to the exact same place. One's just a bit further down than the other. You don't need... There isn't an extra door. You can still go through the Stormtrooper one and end up in the right next to the Bounty Hunter door. You just won't be able to get out that way. So I don't know why they even bothered with 2 doors. I eventually got it and decided not to do that for the next one because the payoff is rubbish. And Silhouette Anakin Ghost, you can still see right through him. I'm pretty sure that background was black in the original, but anyway. Hey look, Star Wars fans will complain about the slightest of changes. Why shouldn't I? Oh, it's because I'm an actual Star Wars fan, so I don't care. Because I know this is silly, and this is a sillier version of something silly. I always feel the need to activate both doors. So come over here, use Greedo. Greedo, I don't think you need to stretch up that far. Your hand is pretty much clipping through the scope thing. Isn't that what we've got? It's one of those things that was outside of Jabba's palace, isn't it? The Consuela thing. Kitty, 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 kitty. That looks a lot more epic in Lego Star Wars 2. Like, it's an actual explosion. Those things just explode out of there. They just fall out much slower. And it just creates a random room. So that's 1. And that's 2. I don't know why I said that's 1. That's 2. That's 2 of those. That's 1 mini kit that's back over there. We are going to have to back... This level requires a little bit of backtracking, but not much. As long as you remember to take these vehicles with you, which are also silhouetted. There are 2 vehicles you can get from behind here, and they are required for a mini kit further down the level. I don't think it matters which vehicle you have. Either of them works. And there's our 3rd block. So once you've found 3 of those, and I have to go back over there. Kind of annoying, I don't know why it can't just spawn right there, but I guess you could also get that 1 second. Or first. You can get these in any order. Couldn't they just put it like halfway between them? Right, so this is where we start going after our power brick, which is just in this door that eventually at the end, I wish I had a speed up button. The only character that gets a speed up button is the Gonk droid, which makes it go about the same speed as every other character. Well, not the small ones, they go really slowly as well. Just not Gonk droid slowly. So we create the plants, then we destroy the plants, and that will make the power brick appear. So that'll be the first power brick in Lego Star Wars 2, potentially, depending on what one you get first. But that would be power brick 1. And then by destroying these, which I will do once I'm done destroying these, which have a very poor payoff, we can create the vehicle. I mean, yeah, the vehicles are silhouetted as well. Doesn't matter, we've already seen them in the Lego City levels. Unless you haven't seen that. In which case, well, you can get the idea of what it looks like right here. It's just that the window will change colour to blue once the vehicle becomes whole. Rebel Trooper, what are you doing? And how is that thing clipping through your... Ugh. I think I look like I decapitated him. Well, they're made of Lego, so what does it matter? 3PO gets decapitated in this game. In fact, we cut off his limbs and everything if we keep attacking him. And TC-14. How grim. I can't remember if this is exactly what the silhouettes look like in Lego Star Wars 1 or if it was a little bit different. But I believe the silhouettes is something that's in every game. I think Lego Star Wars 2 had this as well. Most of LEGO Star Wars 1's extras are exclusive to LEGO Star Wars 1. Like, there's one that will turn lightsabers into brooms, one that will turn blasters into mugs. There's some that can change the appearance of your blaster. You have small blasters, you have big blasters, you have silly blasters, but they are all exactly the same. Sure guys, you're stormtroopers. Don't attack my partner who is a rebel trooper. Don't attack him whatsoever. Oh, the enemy AI is so weird. Yeah. You know, this guy is supposed to have a super jump, but because we're now in the LEGO Star Wars 2 levels, characters didn't have super jumps in that game. There was no character that could, and they were never necessary as a result. It's a bit of an obscure one. It's a good thing they all have force things, so you'll get the idea to just go after studs and it'll open up. Yeah, the big jump is actually nerfed. Like, you won't gain any extra height at all. It's just nerfed, and this is where I realised I forgot the vehicle. Because I need it for that room. But you'll go to just a regular double jumping height like a Jedi. So like with Jar Jar, his single jump is pretty much as high as a double jump from another character for the most part. You'll gain like a tiny little extra bit of height with this double jump. But then you can actually feel it. You can feel the weight of the character when they reach the peak of the jump where it's been nerfed. They'll only go so high. They won't reach the same height that they normally do in the prequel levels. For some reason that thing did explode prematurely. I didn't press the button when that happened, I swear. And I always have to use the crane for this. I just feel that it is a lot funnier, even though it's slower. And there's a chance that they'll shoot you. So drop him. And drop him. And then he's going to help us. So let's drop him. The difference being he comes back. At the very least, I don't need to wait for 3PO. I can just go over here. Go over here. Well, I still do collect a bunch of studs. And now we can go through here. Eventually. Practically is waiting. This is like the only time we ever actually still have like a cutscene thing that we have to watch. I mean, it's not really a cutscene, but it's the only time that sort of thing happens. Alright, this is where we have our second set of objects that count up. So this time we're looking for it's like a little flower. It was very briefly on screen there, but there's a little flower. And there's going to be 3 of them coming up. Once again, you will need a bounty hunter character in order to find all 3 of them. See, this is the problem. When you have the silhouettes, you can't tell which one's your partner character and which one are the enemies. Also, for some reason, I just don't find... I find it a bit of an eyesore. It sounds so weird to say, but I do find it a bit of an eyesore. Like the shininess of it all. It's weird, because it pretty much just makes everybody look like Darth Vader. But yeah, I don't like the silhouettes. So I'll be turning them off in a few seconds. Mainly because it sort of ruins the comedy of something we're about to see. So like there, I couldn't tell if that was my partner character or not because we have stormtroopers available. Better question, why is there a stormtrooper panel in a rebel ship? And a better question, you can see there's a stormtrooper that's flying through space there. That's not supposed to be activated until... That's not supposed to happen until we activate one of these panels. I hadn't even started building the panel as he came out, so... I think that was a glitch. I wonder if that's a common glitch or if it's just something... Is it something that happens every time you enter the room? Because this is what's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, the silhouette kind of ruins it. So I was like, nope, I'm turning this off because it's a lot funnier to watch them just flying through space. So the silhouettes go off. And that's what they look like. And there's our beach trooper. Once again, he's not wearing underwear this time. He's wearing a bit more. That's our second flower. And our third one is just through here. Can you guess which object it is? Thankfully this one didn't explode early. Though it did kill our 4. So that's our final flower. Every time I do this, though, I keep getting to the end of the level and I get paranoid that I've missed one because I don't pay attention to the timer. I actually did miss one in Mos Eisley Spaceports. So I sort of wandered around for a while and I was like, wait a minute, I missed an object. Thankfully, the object was at the end of the level. So I didn't have to backtrack far. But you'll notice the edit. What do you mean this is supposed to be super informative guide that's done by a professional? Who told you that? Certainly not my channel description. So drain that. Get the last mini kit. Then we can go through here eventually, and we can kill these rebel troopers. Like if you throw a thermal detonator or have something explode in there, it will kill the rebel troopers, which is grim. I thought they were the good guys. I mean, rebel troopers die about as much as stormtroopers do, so I guess that makes it okay. And we got super blasters now, much like the super slap. That means that blaster bolts now do double damage. So it is a useful one. It is a good one for those occasional strong enemies you come across. Maybe it's probably better on something like a ATST compared to like a standard trooper. We built a Star Destroyer, a vehicle that's not particularly useful in the mini-kit levels because they're really slow. 109, we're slowly getting there. And is it at the end of this part? No, it's at the end of the next part. So that's when I do finally decide to get the ghost characters, the remaining ones. I have every character now. Next time. So, next up we're going to be doing what I imagine is the longest level. Trust me, it's a big one. Through the Jundland Waste. So I will see you guys then.